Welcome into another video in my series where we're going through and testing all the weapons inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies to see just how viable these weapons are for us to be using inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies game mode. This is going to include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, as well as the MW2 weapons. So if you're new around here and you'd like to see how weapons perform inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, you are in the right place. Make sure you're subscribed with those bell notifications turned on so you're not going to miss out any future uploads from myself on Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, as well leading into Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6 footage as well. So without further ado, we're going to be jumping into something today that I truly enjoy doing, and that is a viewer suggestion. Now before we get into the viewer suggestion, I just wanted to try and get some feedback from you guys and see if there was weapon suggestions that I may have missed that you have left in the comments. Please re-leave them again in the comments section. I will do my very best to get to those. As well, I'd like to see if you guys have any challenges that you would like to see me complete for a video. That would be something I'd definitely be interested in doing. I'm also going to be bringing in some different content for MW3 Zombies coming forward besides the weapon reviews. Those are going to continue, but just wanted to let you guys know what's coming on and what to expect. Now in today's video, we're going through a weapon suggestion that was brought up through the Zhordecommunity Discord, and if you're looking to join, we are small but growing, and it's a Discord full of community players looking to help each other out. The link for that is down below in the description. So the suggestion from the Discord today was the HMR-9. So we're going to be having a look at the HMR-9. Now this suggestion was one that I had been meaning to get to, as for Season 4, they had made some changes to the HMR-9 as you can see on screen. So I was interested to take the HMR-9 through all three tiers, taking on bounty contracts all the way through to see how well this weapon performs with the Season 4 changes to the HMR-9. So by the end of today's video, you should have a really good feel for how the HMR-9 SMG performs inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, and whether or not this weapon is going to be a viable option for you to be using inside of your Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. So without further ado, let's get to the HMR-9 review video today. Welcome into another video in my series where we're going through and testing all the weapons inside of Modern Warfare 3. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I truly appreciate that. Now in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at an SMG, the HMR-9, as they did a minor buff to it for Season 4, so I wanted to check that out as well. This was a weapon suggestion from inside of the Zhordecommunity Discord. Link for that is down in the description, so we wanted to get to that. This is also a weapon that I'd been meaning to test that I hadn't got around to, so definitely an awesome suggestion, and I'm super excited to do these videos. When you guys leave me weapon suggestions, definitely something I enjoy doing. Now when I spawn in and do my weapon testing videos, we put on all of my perks with no additions to the weapon for strength, no pack-a-punch, no tools, and no ammo mods to it. And we take on our first bounty contract of the day at white rarity, with the only really extra damage thing we have is Deadshot. As a mouse and keyboard player, it does give me the extra critical damage. So our first bounty was not that difficult for sure, which was a mimic inside of tier 1 at white rarity, which definitely surprised me. I knew the HMR-9 when it was introduced to the game was really strong, but since then it's gone through a few changes and kind of been, for me, put to the wayside and forgotten. So I wanted to get back to it and see how it was, because it was really good when I first got it. So we went and picked up our second bounty contract of the day inside of tier 2, and then went and visited the pack-a-punch machine, melee it to keep your camo on it before using the machine or pap crystals. And now that we increased the damage output on the HMR-9 to just pack 1, still white rarity, we went and grabbed our second bounty contract of the day, and it was a mimic, and holy smokes, that was impressive. Just visiting pack-a-punch had made the HMR-9 inside of tier 1 almost, OP. So now I was really excited to throw on Legendary and Shatterblast and go grab our final bounty contract of the day inside of tier 1 and see, is this HMR-9 going to just eviscerate our bounty contract inside of tier 1? I would expect it to. Usually if I see a bounty contract inside of tier 1 when I'm packed in Legendary just disappear like that, then this weapon is going to be extremely strong for us to be using across all three tiers inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So at this point, I was really excited to push on and see what this weapon can do, you know, as we continue to increase its damage output and push through to the higher threat levels and take on stronger and stronger bounty contracts as we move on. So now, keeping the weapon at the damage output that it was, Pack 1 Legendary with Shatter Blast, I wanted to make a beeline for Tier 2, grab a Tier 2 bounty contract without increasing any of the damage output on the HMR-9 and see how it performs inside of Tier 2 taking on a bounty contract. And at Pack 1, I was very impressed. You can see the damage that the HMR-9 is able to do on the health bar on our Mimic bounty contract inside of Tier 2, sorry, and we are only Pack 1. Yes, we are Legendary, but only Pack 1. So I was really impressed to see just how viable this is inside of Tier 2, being only Pack-a-Punch level 1. It definitely wasn't much of an issue. As far as the zombies go, again, not much of an issue at all. I don't really find the zombies to be much of an issue if you are fairly leveled up. You know, you've got a tool on your gun and maybe Pack-a-Punch, you should be okay dealing with most of the zombies in the areas. You know, like if you're in Tier 2 and you've got like a blue tool, you kind of want to be Pack 2. In Tier 3, you definitely want to be Epic in my eyes or Legendary going into Tier 3 and then get to Pack 3 as soon as you can. Those are my thoughts on Tier 3. So let's go ahead and visit Pack-a-Punch Machine in Tier 2, which we just did. So now the damage output on our HMR-9 has been increased yet again, and now we are at Pack 2 Legendary with Shatter Blast inside of Tier 2, grabbing our second Tier 2 bounty contract of the day, which was a Disciple. And you know my thoughts and feelings on Disciples, but just look at this. I was able to just stand in one spot and dish out the damage needed to take out a Tier 2 bounty Disciple with this HMR-9 being double packed Legendary with Shatter Blast inside of Tier 2. Thoroughly impressive. At this point, I wanted to go straight to Tier 3, visit the Wonder Fizz machine, grab the rest of my perks, and then push on into Tier 3, seeing what the HMR-9 can do, seeing just how well it performed against our last bounty contract inside of Tier 2. I had really high hopes for this weapon going inside of Tier 3. So we got the last of our perks, which is nice to have when I run into Tier 3. And then it was off to check our first ritual here, hopefully that I can replenish the Legendary and PAP 3 crystal I brought in for this run. But unfortunately, the first ritual was taken, as well as the second one. But I did want to take an opportunity just to show you guys how viable this can be inside of Tier 3, being Pack-a-Punch level 2 on the HMR-9 with Shatter Blast, and it is truly remarkable. I mean, we're Pack 2 inside of Tier 3 and definitely able to dish out the damage. You can see the carnage left behind by the DNA strains by the zombies. And then I was here to grab some more ammo, and lo and behold, I got lucky. The last ritual was still available to be had inside of Tier 3. So at this point, I was super excited to be able to replenish the Legendary Tool and PAP 3 crystal that I brought in with me for my run today. So this was awesome to see. You know, not very often with 20 minutes, 15 minutes to go in a match that there's going to be any rituals left when I come into Tier 3, or for that matter, any of the loot. A lot of the good chests have already been looted by the time I get in here, usually at the end of the match when I'm doing my recordings. So anytime I can get a, you know, ritual done to get the PAP 3 crystal and Legendary Tool is definitely a plus for me, for sure. So we got it done, activated here, the last ritual inside of Tier 3. And again, we're still using the HMR-9 here at Pack 2 with Shatter Blast, Legendary inside of Tier 3. And you can see I was definitely not struggling to finish off this ritual right here. Getting that Brain Rot zombie definitely helped. I don't know how many zombies he took out, because this ritual seemed to complete extremely fast. Let me know if you thought that was a little bit quick to complete that ritual, because I certainly did. So now that we had that ritual complete, I wanted to show you guys what crowd control would be like with the HMR-9 at Pack 3 Legendary with Shatter Blast inside of Tier 3. How does it handle just the entire horde, a big horde coming at you inside of Tier 3? Are you able to push them back? Are you able to dish out enough damage to be able to just, you know, crowd control inside of Tier 3? And that is a resounding yes. You can see the carnage on screen from just the damage that this HMR-9 at max damage output is able to do inside of Tier 3. It is awesome. So the next thing to do was to go off and grab ourselves a bounty contract inside of Tier 3, hoping that I could get a Mega Abomination bounty contract to show us But unfortunately, today is a day of mimics. So we went off and grabbed our mimic bounty contract inside of tier 3. And at the end of this bounty contract, I managed to somehow lose my decoys and pick up the scatter mines. And then for the rest of my run inside of tier 3, I could not for the life of me stumble across decoys, which made this run incredibly more challenging than I felt like it really needed to be. So here we are dealing with our mimic bounty contract. I've got no decoys currently at the moment, which is why you see me running around trying to get some distance between us. And it's at this point when I was running, I realized that my mimic was turning around. He was going to head back to where he came from as I had pulled him away too far. And so when he does that, they do regenerate some of their health, and you can see he's booking it back up the hill here, trying to get back to where he spawned in. And you can see when I re-engage our mimic bounty contract inside of tier 3, his health had increased by a bit, for sure. He's almost back to full health. So definitely keep that in mind if you guys are doing bounty contracts inside of tier 3. You want to kind of stay in the area as much as possible where your bounty spawns, so that it doesn't, you know, take off and regain a whole bunch more health and make things a lot more difficult for you. Definitely a nice tip for sure. But we were able to finish off that bounty contract mimic inside of tier 3, honestly, with ease. And, you know, if I had a decoy, I definitely feel like that bounty contract would have been completed a lot faster. Now, when I did get into tier 3 today, I was, I think, the only player in here. So there was an absurd amount of riffraff everywhere I went inside of tier 3 today. And you can see right here, I picked up the scatter mines and my decoys actually disappeared. I could not find them on the ground anywhere. I tried to loot decoys from crates, picking them up off zombies. I was getting frag grenades, I was getting scatter mines, but I was not getting decoys. So this rest of the run in tier 3, I have scatter mines instead of decoys, and I tell you, no decoys in tier 3 is not fun. Definitely not fun. I don't recommend. I don't recommend. Definitely bring decoys if you're running inside of tier 3. But holy smokes, the damage that this HMR-9 is able to dish out to Mega Abominations, just the zombies, the congestion inside of tier 3 is truly remarkable. I mean, you can see the damage we are dishing out to the Mega Abomination when it fires up its laser attack and you're able to hit those critical shots. The HMR-9 does some serious damage to Mega Abominations, makes easy work of just about everything inside of tier 3. Now, would I rate this as one of the top weapons inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies for us to be using right now? Honestly, no. But it is definitely viable and it is definitely strong. So it is one of the stronger weapons to be using right now inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. I mean, you can see right here the damage I'm able to do to that Mega Abomination while he has his laser attack going. It's definitely some substantial critical damage you're able to dish out to a Mega Abomination bounty contract with the HMR-9, which is awesome. Also, I don't know if I caught it in the footage, but I am running mags of holding now. Just so you guys are wondering why I didn't reload, and the ammo count has gone up to 550. But you can see here we finish off our Mega Abomination inside of tier 3. I use the thermites, which are really awesome against Mega Abominations, to take out some more damage. Fires up another laser attack, and we were able to finish him off right there. So definitely not much of an issue, not much of a struggle dealing with the actual bounty itself inside of tier 3. As you can told you earlier, the struggle I had at this point was the no decoys. Excuse me. So definitely recommend having decoys. I was trying to pick them up, but I couldn't. So I was trying to grab, excuse me, the last of my loot here from finishing off that Mega Abomination, which was a bit of a struggle not having the decoys. So definitely recommend decoys. Now, how does it handle tier 3? We've got a we got a Mangler, just a standard HVT in the area. Definitely not much of an issue. You can see we're able to just shred through him and shred through just about everything inside of tier 3 with this being at max damage output. It's definitely a viable option for us to be using inside of tier 3. For sure. Like, this really surprised me. I wasn't expecting, because the buff they did for Season 4 on the HMR-9 wasn't really dramatic. Like, it wasn't much at all of a difference, but I was still curious to see. I mean, when they increase damage, it's always interesting to see how much that damage increase actually affects a weapon inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. As I feel like a lot of the weapon buffs and nerfs mostly are based upon multiplayer, not necessarily zombies, you know, save for the exception of when incendiary rounds were absolutely crazy OP. That was definitely a zombie specific buff or nerf, but I do feel like for the most part, you know, a lot of the weapon stuff is based around the multiplayer mode, not necessarily zombies. So it's interesting to see when they make changes, whether it's buffs or nerfs to weapons, to see how those weapons perform inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies games. And this is a perfect example of a small buff that was done to the HMR-9 that made it a lot more viable. Now, this is where I needed decoys. You can watch the pain ensue right here. I tried to get away. I couldn't do that. Thank goodness we had picked up a bunch of self-revives on our run today, because I certainly needed them here, as I had 2 mega abominations in the area. Our bounty contract was staying, you know, kind of where he would. You know, like I said, with the Mimic, you want to keep him in the area. But our other mega abomination was free roaming and following me all over the map, chasing me down. I had Mimics behind me. This was just an absolute chaos dealing with our bounty contract. We had a Disciple come through. Thank goodness I was able to turn that Disciple. That was a big lifesaver. Helped out a bunch, and you can see we're trying to deal with our Mega Abomination bounty contract right here. We're using the thermites. He's able to fire up his laser attack, and you can see the damage on that Mega Abomination bounty contract with the HMR-9 when he's got his laser attack going, and you're able to hit those critical shots. It's definitely dishing out the damage on the Mega Abomination bounty contracts. That's something I noticed and definitely felt in this game, was that it definitely handled the bounty contracts well and was able to dish out a lot of damage to them, which was awesome to see. This weapon is one of the ones I really enjoyed using. I feel like it gives you good maneuverability, feels good to use. And here, what is going on? We got 2 mega abominations. I think I had about 5 laser attacks there that took me down. I was dying. The zombies are throwing meat at me. I was trying to swim around the side so I could get the heck out of this. This was just not looking pretty. Got another thermite into our mega abominations. They did not like that. They took me down while I was swimming away. Oh my goodness. I tell you, I was feeling it right here. I was like, holy smokes, what is happening? Just getting absolutely demoed by these 2 mega abominations, our bounty contract and the other one that was in the area, just absolutely wrecking me. So at this point, I'd had enough. It was time to call in the jug suit and just deal with these 2. And then I lost the ability to use my weapon. It gave me a gutter knife, which I didn't bring in, and I couldn't switch weapons. I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on. Thank goodness I called in my jug suit. That was the one thing that could definitely shoot bullets, so I was happy to see that. So we used the jug suit to try and clear out, you know, the Mega Abomination bounty contract. Focus was on the bounty contract, because if you kill the bounty contract, the other Mega Abomination will despawn. As you can see right here, we're able to finish off our bounty contract, and that took out the other Mega Abomination. And then I was just trying to clear out some of the riffraff so that I could get into the reward rift, wondering if when I got out of the jug suit, if I was going to be able to use my weapon again or not. Nope, still was stuck with this gutter knife, so that was not going to be working. A white rarity gutter knife inside of tier 3. I was definitely not going to be doing any damage to absolutely anything inside of tier 3 with this. So at this point, I was kind of stuck in a really bad situation. I wanted to get into that reward rift to see what it was. I had absolutely nothing to dish out any damage to the zombies whatsoever. I was out of tacticals, out of lethals, and my energy mine was on cooldown. So I managed to sprint, get a bit of distance between me and the zombies, check the loot. There wasn't anything there. Now I did manage to fix that. How did I do that? I went into my inventory and dropped my weapon on the ground and then re-picked it up, and I was good to go. I lost the gutter knife and got my weapon back. So if that happens, try dropping your weapon on the ground and see if it'll help you out. But again, thank you so much for the weapon suggestion. That was a truly awesome, truly enjoyable run today, aside from the 2 Mega Abominations trying to wreck me at the end. No bueno. Anyway, made it out with the loot needed to replenish what I brought in for the run, which was good enough for me. So thank you all for tuning in. Now, as we do at the end of every video, this is the weapon build that I used for today's run. So if we want to work together, down in the comments suggestions to make any changes that may be needed to the weapon build so that we all have one amazing build to use on the HMR-9 inside of our Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, then let's get together down in the comment section and make that happen. The camo I used was under the Zombie Masteries, and it's right there. And if you're looking for the blueprint that I was using on the HMR-9 today, if you go head over to your SMGs and you go to the HMR-9, you will find the one I was using, which is right here, the Evolved Fury. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.